Okay, so you clicked on this video because you want to be a content creator, but you can't decide. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, there's so many different platforms to choose from, and you simply can't pick all three of them because then you're gonna stretch yourself thin across all of the platforms. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about these three platforms, and hopefully this will help you decide which one to focus on because they all have pros and they all have cons, and it kind of depends on what type of content you make. So my name is Nathan, this is the Blueprint channel. I've been a YouTube creator for 12 years. And of course, I've published a bunch of stuff to Instagram. I got 1 million followers on Instagram. I got almost 4 million followers on TikTok, and I have nearly 40 million subscribers on YouTube across multiple different channels. So I definitely have some experience on all of these platforms, so hopefully this video will help. But all I ask for you guys to do is click that subscribe button. If you're looking to become a better creator, this is the best channel on YouTube to learn from because I share all of my advice and all of my secrets. So first off, let's talk about the numbers. The revenue. What's the difference in revenue between these platforms? Well, I have some stuff I would actually like to share with you guys. So here is Instagram. Now, I don't even know if I set this up right because there's no way it is this low. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I got 4.2 million views on Instagram in about 30 days, and it paid me $4.60. That's pretty rough. Just for reference here, let me show you a video on YouTube that got 4 million views and how much money it made. This video right here, it got 3.9 million views and it ended up making $29,000 in revenue. That is like a 10,000x. That's crazy. Here's some YouTube Shorts earnings. So I got 8.4 million views on YouTube Shorts in 28 days, and it paid out $2,290. And then of course, like I just mentioned, the long form YouTube videos are insane. I mean, it's the highest amount of revenue you can make, but it's also the hardest videos to make. And then we got TikTok. I don't know the exact amount of views that I've gotten on TikTok, but I want to say it's a couple million, and they ended up paying out here. This is 1,920. So TikTok's not bad too, but obviously YouTube is the highest revenue producing platform. And I think one of the reasons of that is simply because YouTube is owned by Google, and Google is one of the biggest advertising agencies in the world. And the way you get paid on being a content creator is through advertising, ultimately. So YouTube is definitely the highest revenue platform when it comes to content creation. I would also throw Twitch in there, but we're not going to talk about live streaming in this video. But there is pros and cons to every platform. And just because YouTube is the highest paying one does not necessarily mean you should go on YouTube. Let me explain. So first off, let's put TikTok and Instagram in the same category because I think the content on TikTok and Instagram are very similar. It's all short form content, it's Reels, it's TikToks, it's 60-second, 90-second videos. They're all kind of the same, and you make somewhat similar revenue. YouTube is in its own category. It is its own beast, its own animal, because you have long form videos, which can make hundreds of thousands of dollars if you get millions and millions of views. I am showing you this to really let you know that the revenue on YouTube can be insane, but it's also the hardest platform to make videos for. So this video right here, if you can see that, got 12 million views, and it ended up producing $346,000 in revenue. You will never make that kind of money on any platform with that type of views. Maybe you can't, but I don't think it's possible. So to get that out of the way, YouTube is the highest revenue, highest paying platform. Just talking about these three platforms. I'm not throwing in Twitch or any of the other platforms or Snapchat or any of that stuff. We're just talking about Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Out of these three, YouTube is definitely the highest paying, but that doesn't mean you should be a YouTuber because it depends on what type of content you make. Because just because it's the highest paying doesn't mean it's the best platform for you and your videos. Now, here's the tricky part. In order to decide what type of platform you want to be on depends on the type of videos that you make. Because ultimately, any type of video can perform well on any platform. It really can. But ultimately, there's certain places where videos perform higher than others and just make more sense. A perfect example is gaming videos, gaming content. So like Minecraft, Fortnite, GTA, Roblox, all of these different games, those videos are huge on YouTube. And the reason those videos are huge on YouTube is because people want to sit down and watch a 10, a 20 minute, a 30-minute video about this video game. Whereas on TikTok and Instagram, the videos are short. They're only 60 to 90 seconds. And of course, there is still tons of gaming content on these platforms, but they just don't feel the same. You can't build the same audience. It's not the same as YouTube. So that's kind of what I mean when it comes down to what type of content you make depends on what platform you pick. If you want to make content on clothing and fashion and design and maybe even architecture, Instagram and TikTok might be the place for you. Based on the videos that you want to make, if you want to decide what platform is going to be the best for you, I would personally do a lot of research. Go on every single one of these platforms. Go on Instagram, go on TikTok, go on YouTube, heck, even go on Snapchat, go on Facebook, go on all of these platforms and do a ton of research. So for example, if you want to make videos about tech, maybe you want to make videos about phones and laptops and computers and all of these different things, go on YouTube and do research. Go on Instagram and do research. Go on TikTok and do research and figure out what type of videos people are making, and also look at how many followers people are getting. Try to find the biggest creators on these platforms and just figure out how many views are they getting, how many followers are they getting. Do your research, because ultimately that's gonna help you decide what platform you should be on. Because you might do your research and you might figure out, hey, there's no one on TikTok making videos like this. There's no one on Instagram making videos like this. So I think I'm gonna go make videos on YouTube because there's tons of people watching these videos on YouTube. There's a huge audience on YouTube. Everyone is on YouTube watching and consuming and making these videos. And look, don't worry about the revenue because there is so many ways that you can make revenue as a content creator. Yes, YouTube is the highest paying platform. However, you have people on TikTok like Charli D'Amelio that get paid like $10 to $20 million a year. Of course, she is like one of the biggest creators on TikTok, but all of that money pretty much comes from brand deals and sponsorships and clothing and all these different opportunities that she gets thrown at her. She doesn't actually make a ton of money on TikTok. Whereas I, for example, I make videos only on YouTube, and most of my income comes from YouTube ad revenue. So every creator is different on how they make their income. What I want you to do is I don't want you just to pick YouTube because it's the highest paying, because sometimes Instagram or TikTok could grow you 3 times faster and they could help your brand grow and so many other things. Another thing to consider here, which a lot of people don't think about, is the type of connection that you build with the viewer on these different platforms. Now, personally, I think you can build a deep connection on any social media platform. Doesn't matter what it is. But YouTube has the ability to build a deeper relationship simply because videos on YouTube are 10, 15, 20 minutes. Some of our videos are even 2 hours long, which means a lot of our viewers are spending a long time with us, which builds a deeper connection. Whereas on Instagram and TikTok, people might only be spending 2 or 3 minutes with you, and then they're scrolling to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. So that is a big benefit to being a YouTuber, but not a big benefit for being an Instagram or a TikToker. Now, of course, I believe you can build a deep connection on any platform, but I'm just saying it's easier to build deeper connection on YouTube because people spend a lot more time with you on YouTube. Another big thing is I think Instagram and TikTok can be very powerful brand builders, whereas YouTube can also be very powerful, but TikTok and Instagram, I think, are a little bit more powerful. If you have a clothing company, a food company, something like that, TikTok and Instagram can be huge for you. I see videos on TikTok and Instagram all day about all different types of food and restaurant and travel videos and all these different things, whereas on YouTube, I don't really see any of these videos. A lot of the times on Instagram and TikTok, I will find places to adventure to, restaurants to go to, certain types of food to make. Another big thing on TikTok is food recipes. Like, these videos be going super viral of people just teaching you how to make like a chicken sandwich or something. Whereas on YouTube, that content doesn't really thrive as much. And this kind of goes back to this whole research thing that I was talking about. If you sit down and do your research, you'll figure out that, hey, these videos are huge on TikTok, but no one's really watching them on YouTube because they're different audiences. Every single platform has a different type of viewer that likes to consume things in different ways. So that right there is a huge benefit for TikTok and Instagram. They're huge brand building platforms, whereas YouTube is not as good at that. Another big thing about building is gaining followers, gaining subscribers, gaining viewers. I think Instagram and TikTok is significantly easier to get to 1 million followers than it is on YouTube. Now, of course, I started on YouTube. My bread and butter is YouTube. I've really only done YouTube. So I have more followers on YouTube. But we actually did 2 videos a while ago where me and my friends made TikTok accounts and we started at 0 followers. And we also made YouTube accounts and we started at 0 subscribers. And we had to make videos and try to get as many followers as we could. Now, these videos, we didn't really like show our face. We didn't promote these videos to our audience. No one knew that we had these secret little channels. We didn't do paid ads for them. We didn't do marketing, nothing. Just within like a week or 2 on TikTok, I think we gained like 30,000 followers on TikTok. I mean, it is crazy how fast you can blow up on TikTok or Instagram. However, on YouTube, after nearly 2 weeks of work and hundreds of videos posted, I think we only got 100 subscribers. So the growth on YouTube is significantly slower, whereas on TikTok and Instagram, you can go viral really quick, like within a week or a month. Now, of course, every single creator, every single person grows at completely different paces, but just from my experience, I think it's way easier to grow on Instagram and TikTok than it is on YouTube. So that's another huge benefit on TikTok and Instagram and a downfall for YouTube. Look, ultimately, the biggest advice I can give you is to do your research based on the videos that you want to create. If you want to make gaming videos, then go on all of these platforms and find the biggest gaming creators and see how many views they're getting. What type of content are they making? If you want to make videos about makeup and fashion, go on all these platforms and figure out who's making the videos, who's getting the views, how much attention are they getting, and that should help you decide which platform to go for. I would not recommend chasing the platform that has the highest amount of earnings, simply because if you do that, you might not grow as much, whereas you could have gone to TikTok and grew 3 times faster, and maybe you make your money in a different way. Maybe you make your money with brand deals and sponsorships and so many different things. There's simply so many ways a creator can make money, but hopefully this video helped you understand the difference between TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, because it is very hard to pick a platform to focus on. And if you post on all 3 platforms, you end up spreading yourself too thin and trying to do so many different things. And maybe that could be a strategy that works for some people. Till this day, I've not seen a single creator blow up on all 3 platforms. Usually they'll try to struggle to make videos on all 3 platforms, and then one platform will kind of take off and they'll just kind of run and go with that platform. So hopefully this video helps. I would really appreciate it if you guys click that subscribe button, because we post videos every single week on this channel on how to be a better creator. So I'll see y'all next week, and we'll probably be talking about something crazy on how to go viral.